Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Diane here. We're back today working on the strawberry journals again. I have separated my papers into two piles. I think I'm going to make two journals this time. And I've put the spare papers to the left, like extra printables or, more copies of the same thing. I was looking at my covers after I had the pages separated and I thought, I don't know, this is a little too red for this. So I went back through my books and I found another Reader's Digest with this pretty green cover with the flowers. Isn't that perfect? So I thought that would be much better. Because I was thinking, if, this is just a ripped piece, but if I put, look at that, doesn't that look nice with that? And then maybe like a, I don't know, cut out something. Isn't that cute? Alright. So that's what I'm going to do, and I'm going to put this pack to the side and I'm going to start working on this one. So now I'll have two piles. Okay, so we're going to do the blue cover first, and whenever I do the Reader's Digest I always try to keep the end papers because I like this, and they have such great coloring on these. Anyway, I'm not worried about these rough edges. I'm going to put some Tyvek in here. And the fabric's going to come over to cover this black part anyway, so it's going to come way in here. You won't see any of this. We'll clean this all up and make it look nice. So we don't need that for a while either. We'll toss this to the side as well. Sorry guys, for some reason I just cannot shake the allergies this season. Okay, so we have our papers, and I think I'm going to do two signatures. We'll see how many pages we get when we get to the bottom of the stack, so we'll see. I'm going to put one of these scrapbooking papers in each signature, so I'll use them as the bottom of the stack since they're the biggest. I've got some recipe pages. Now this one I can use as a whole page because it's nice and big, and then I like these because they have strawberry themed desserts on them, so I'm going to hinge these two together to make a set of pages like that. So that'll be one page. And then I have my Kool-Aid dyed papers here. Let's see. These have patterns. These are plain. So I'm going to do a patterned in each. And then this is going to get the light color and this will get the darker color. Alrighty. I found some cool transfers. There's a strawberry transfer in one of the books I found. So transfers and coloring pages, one of each. Got some cute stationery, one of each. Let me put these up a little. Maybe I should put this in the center so you can actually see what I'm looking at. And we'll kind of scooch these to each side. There we go. How about that? That looks nice. Now, my printables from Cara, there's two that have a blue background, so I'll put one in each signature. And then there was two that are just beautiful collages, so we'll put one of those in each signature. And these two guys, one's darker, one's lighter, and then we've got these two printables. Alright, we've got a doily for each. I found some flowers in some nature books. They had some pink on them, or some berries. These aren't actually strawberries, but close enough. So we'll put one in each. I have some green ledger, and some school paper that's lined. Cute. And then I got down to my last printable here. I hope that looks upside down. So I'm going to do a printable in one and a scrapbook page in the other. And we have wrapping paper and then the calendar page. This is very thin paper, so I would liken those to being very similar. And I've got a dictionary page and an envelope, which don't seem like the same thing, but they're both small. So that's my thinking. So that's what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to have two signatures. Let's see, how many pages is that? If we don't count the envelope, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, because that's one. 16 pages per signature. Yeah, I'll trim them down and see how they look. Next I'm going to measure the book and see how tall. Guess I do need that cover back. Alright, let's see how tall the pages can be. So it's just over 7.5, so 5/8. 7.5 is not going to be very much wiggle room. 7.25. That'll give me a little bit on each side. So I think 7.25 tall. Let me get my pad of paper here so I can write this stuff down. So height 7.25, and so it's like 5 1/8 here. If we do 4 3/4 is kind of thin. Let's do 4 7/8 just to make it difficult. Let's measure on the inside, see what it looks like on the inside. Okay. So it looks like it's actually 5.5. So if we did 5, yeah, 5 inches wide looks good. Okay. Alrighty, so I will get out my paper trimmer and start trimming these down. I don't know if you want to watch that or not. I mean, it doesn't seem very exciting. Let me do the basic pages off camera, and then I'll show you what I'm going to do with the bigger ones. We'll see if we're going to cut those, if we're going to have some flippy folds or something. So let me trim these papers and then I'll be right back. Okay, well that was interesting. I turned off the camera and I started sorting my papers, and my camera mount came unattached from my shelf. So after fixing that, I'm back. I trimmed the papers of the other signature, so now let's do the second signature. After thinking about it, I thought you might want to see me measure these. So on my cutting board here, as you can see, I wanted to do 7.25, and that's exactly where the fold of this is, so there's no mark. So I made a tiny little pen mark there to tell me where 7.25 inches is from the blade groove. So we're gonna cut stuff to 7.25 high and then 10 wide. Now if it's a little longer, I may want to leave it so I can do a flippy flap at the end, because if I have a 12 by 12 paper, that gives me 2 inches on one side. If we have 5 and 5 is 10, and then we'll have a 2-inch flap that we could fold under and make like a side pocket or something. So those are always interesting to do. So I'm not going to say always cut them to 10 inches, but generally I'm going to cut them to 10 inches. So here's a piece of scrapbook paper. This side's a little roughed up and this side is cut. So let's see, which direction is this? This is the 12 and this is not. So this has to be the height. Let's cut off this raggedy edge over here. So I'll line this one up, 7.25. Alright, and I'll keep these pieces. These will be great for collaging or whatever. They already go with the papers that are being used, so it'll coordinate well. Let's see, I think think I want to cut this side off. This one's a little wrinkly. So, well, I did say I could leave it at 12 and have a flippy flap. Yeah, I'll do that with this one. I'm going to leave this one at 12. Then I can fold the one end in and still have two 5-inch pages. So that'll be cool. I'm going to leave that one at 12. Alrighty, now we've got our lined paper here. It's just a smidge over 10 wide, so we'll trim that off. Oh, I think it's time to replace my blade. You see that? It's cutting the edges roughly. Alright, well after this session we'll have to do that. So now I need to decide if I want to cut off the top or the bottom on this, or a little of both. Let's see, that's 7 1/4. I think I'm going to take off this blank spot at the top. The other signature I did the bottom, but here there was a little imperfection, so I'm just going to take that off. There we go. Alright, and then my grid paper is 8.5 by probably 11. It is. Alright, so I'm going to cut this down to 10 wide. And 7 1/4. Take these holes off of this side. And it's all personal preference, whichever way you like to cut your paper. If you wanted to leave the holes for character, you could cut this side off. Really, it's just about what you like to do. Okay, this one is obviously tiny. Oh, we'll have to deal with doilies when we get there. Look how I put that off. Okay. I really like the letters up here. Let's see what 10 cuts off. Oh, barely anything. There we go. We'll just cut off the bottom of that circle. And I even saved these strips too, because I'm going to do some tags with the long lines. I saw Kathleen Mower? She was giving some formulas for collaging. I was like, oh, long lines, that looks so cool. Oh, I don't want to take the P off. Yeah, I think it's better to go this way. Yep, that's cute. Yeah, so I'm just sitting in my craft room today working on this. What are you guys working on? Are you doing anything exciting? Are you maybe doing a little shopping? I know that's always exciting for me. Oh, it's really cutting all those berries off, isn't it? Maybe I'll do it. So sometimes when I want to take a little off each side, I'll move it over just a bit, cut a strip on this side, which is still great for collage, beautiful colors, and then I'll turn it this way and see how much more I need to take off. There's a lot of guesstimating in my crafting. These I'm only trying to get right because I want it to be, you know, I'm going for perfect, but it never is, so. Gosh, I love that page. That's so pretty. Either sometimes I ramble. Let's see. This one is 10 1/2. Doesn't leave much for folding, does it? Unless we make one side longer than 5 and the other side shorter than 5. Because I really love this collage page. I don't think I want to take anything off of that. Let's see what the height is. 7 1/4. What does that do? I think that'll be okay. We can still use that pretty strip to collage with. Alright. So I'm just going to continue on in this fashion, trimming pages and such. I don't know if you want to continue watching or not, but I'll give you the option to take your leave if you like. goodness. Sometimes I amuse myself. All right. I'm just going to cut that off. Still cute, still strawberry. Okay, now here's a good example of taking a little off each side. This is standard US paper. It's 8.5 by 11, and I need 7 1/4. So I'm gonna scooch this over a bit. What is that? Like a half. All right. I'm gonna cut it right there. See, great collaging piece. And then I'm going to turn it this way and see what 7 1/4 gives me. It's fairly even. I mean, it's not exact, and you can tell on this because of the grid. I mean, it's like 1.5 there and a little more over here, but I'm not really looking that close. I don't know why I'm bothered by that. Then this is 11 inches. Even if I cut off half an inch, that's going to take out the top of the jar. I don't really want to do that, so I may just end up folding this one at the bottom too. I might have a couple foldy pieces. Okay, I'm going to continue trimming these, and then I'm going to come back in a minute and show you the folding of the pages, because I don't think you want to sit here and watch me trim paper. You know how to cut paper, right? Alright, I'll be back in just a minute. Okay, we're back. I've trimmed down the pages. Some of them I trimmed a little smaller, like this coloring page had a border around it, so I trimmed that off. And I'm just folding pages in half and or putting in the flippy flaps. So this one is 11 inches long. I didn't want to cut any of that off. So I am going to get out my scoreboard. And we're going to get this thing out of here. Ah, there we go. A little scory tool. Okay, so I want the one side to be 5, because that's the width of my pages. And if we add another 5, that's 10. But I think we're going to go to 9 and fold it over. How about that? That gives us a 2-inch flap. That would be cute. So the one side of the signature, oh, I didn't score that very well, did I? The one side of the signature will have a 5-inch page, and then the other side will have a smaller page with a flippy fold, like that. And you can open it up to write on it. Alright, I like that. That's cute. Alright, what do we got next? Let's see, I think this one is 10. I'm just putting these against the ruler on the edge of my desk there. It's very handy. Now some of the pages I'm folding, since these are only printed on one side, I didn't print anything on the back before I cut them, which I probably should have. But we're going to stencil or stamp on the back anyway, that's fine. So some I'll fold with the print on the inside and some I'll fold with the print on the outside. It's totally random. And then when I'm putting the pages together, if I feel like flipping them, we can always flip it, make the fold the other direction. Unless it's very brittle paper, it should be just fine. Alright. Isn't that so pretty? I love that. Okay, and we got our birds. Let's do the birds this way. And our hand with the strawberries. Oh my, that's not a very straight cut, is it? Look at that. Oh, we're going to have to take that one back to the drawing board. When I match those two corners, that's more than a little off. We'll have to take that one back to the trimmer. Look at that. This side is straight and that side goes whoop. Oh well, we'll straighten that up in a second. I like to leave the doilies until they're actually in the signature, and then I can cut off the ends if I need to, if they're too tall. That one doesn't need to be folded. Pre-folded. Yay. Right. I really like this green ledger paper. Ledger paper. I think it's going to go really well with the pages of the journal. And then this kid's paper is just always cute. Alrighty. I'm going to do that pink in the middle. Okay, and then this is the wrapping paper. So I cut it to the height, and then it's a little wide, but I really didn't want to cut any of this off because I think it's just really cute. So if I leave it long, you can use it for, you could tear off pieces in collage, or, you know, you could write on the back. So this is 7.5 inches wide. So I'm going to see if this will score. I don't know, it's pretty delicate. So let's see if we can get this to score at 5. Very gently, not pressing hard at all. I'm going to score the other side at 5. Sorry about that, that was my phone. There we go. Okay, let's see if we can get these to fold in. Ooh, that was nice. Okay, let's see if we can get lucky on the other side. Very nice. Okay, so you have your page and flip it up and very nice. Okay, and then this was the 12 by 12 paper, if you'll remember. I cut this to 10 wide, and then I did 10.5 tall. Since this is an all-over pattern, I thought I could fold this up and make a pocket on the other side. So we're going to score this at the 7.25. Oh. And then we're going to fold it up. And that is going to be our pocket. And then we will score this at 5 to fold it in half, just because I'm not confident in my folding abilities when it gets to too many layers. Okay. There we go. So now we can either fold it to the inside, which if you do that I would recommend maybe cutting a little sliver right there, or you can have it folded to the outside, and then you have a little pocket and your page, and then a little pocket, which I think that is adorable. Okay, so what I'm going to do is put my scoreboard away. I'm going to fix the cut of this page, and then I'm going to loosely put the pages in the order I want them to be in, just seeing how I like them next to each other. And I'm going to trim up the other signature as well. And when we come back next time, we'll start decorating and stamping and getting the pages prepped before we sew them in. I like to do stamping and stenciling and then sewing anything onto the pages themselves before they go into the book, because it is way easier. Because you could take each one out and, oh, nice stamping surface. If it's already in the book, you have to put something behind it. I'm not really that good, so so we'll start decorating pages in the next video. I appreciate you all hanging out through my rambling here. I get a bit nervous on camera if you haven't noticed. So I will see you in the next episode, and hopefully less rambling in that one. Alright guys, give me a thumbs up if you like this video, subscribe if you'd like to see the rest of the series. If you hit the little bell icon, it'll notify you when I upload a new video, and then you can see what I've got going next. Okay, well I will see you guys in the next episode, and have fun crafting. Bye!